Welcome to the Trees for Life Tree Scheme Instruction DVD Part 2. In our first DVD, we showed you how to organise your supplies, how to prepare each tube, and how to maximise the germination of your seed. This DVD will introduce germination, transplanting, thinning, grading, problem prevention, and presentation. The seed will germinate after a week or so, depending on the species and the weather conditions. All the seed in most batches will germinate at around the same time, while other batches will germinate less evenly. It's important to sow all the seed in the packets on the recommended sowing date. It's our aim to have enough seeds germinate when we want them to. The propagation instruction booklet gives details of the germination times of each species. You will probably have some germination in most tubes. The cotyledons, the seed leaves, will emerge first, followed by the adult leaves. When seedlings have 1 or 2 pairs of adult leaves, move them into full sunlight and leave the empty tubes in the shade. Don't leave seedlings in the shade for too long because they will become weak and spindly. Watering time is a good opportunity to observe your seedlings and to get to know them. If you have followed the steps in the propagation booklet and watered regularly, they will grow strong and healthy. After some weeks, you should have multiple seedlings in each tube, and all you have to do is thin them down to 1 per tube. But if you have some empty tubes, you will need to do some transplanting to end up with 1 good seedling in each tube. Transplant when a few days of mild weather are expected, say mid-20s. Put the empty tubes into their own box and remove the gravel. Make a hole with a clean pencil or small screwdriver in the empty tubes. Hold the seedling by the leaves, carefully loosening the soil around the roots and lift it out. Handle the seedlings by the leaves only, not the stem. If the roots are long, trim them to 3 to 4 centimetres with clean scissors. Transplant the seedlings into a new tube. Place the roots against the side of the hole, making sure they are straight. Gently firm the soil around the roots, aiming to have the soil at the same level on the stem as before. Replace the gravel and gently water the seedlings well to settle the soil. Label your transplanted seedling to prevent mix-ups. Keep the transplanted seedlings in full shade for 2 days. Then put them into 50% shade for a further 10 to 14 days. It's important to keep them well watered. After that time, return them to a sunny position. After you have done any necessary transplanting, the next step is to remove excess seedlings. Leave only 1 strong seedling in each tube. This seedling will be strong and develop a good root system. Crowded seedlings never thrive and don't survive when planted. Your seedlings will usually grow at different rates. Grade them to prevent the taller ones shading out the smaller ones. Sort them by putting the taller ones at one end of the box and the smaller ones at the other end. The best way to do this is to transfer the seedlings into a clean box, grading as you go. Turn the box so that the smallest seedlings face the sun. If you have more than 1 box of the same species, put the smaller seedlings into their own box and give them some soluble fertilizer. With a raised bench, enough sunlight and water, your seedlings should not have any problems. They will have strong upright growth and a good reddish-green colour. Preventable problems are caused by poorly filled tubes, excessive sun or shade, insufficient or rough watering, and boxes placed on the ground inviting slugs, snails and ants. The propagation booklet tells you how to avoid these problems. Seedlings will use more water as they grow. Check the tubes are damp all the way through by taking some tubes out of the box and checking the soil at the holes. If the soil is dry, you need to increase the amount of water or change the method to ensure the tubes are damp all the way through. As your seedlings grow, continue to be observant and check regularly. If you discover a problem, for example some caterpillars, slugs or weeds, deal with them immediately. Towards the end of the growing season, the final step is to prepare your seedlings to give to your landholder or project coordinator. Your goal is to have one strong seedling between 10 and 20 centimetres tall in each tube. Prepare for handover with a last quality control check. The best way to do this is to transfer your seedlings into a clean box. Inspect each one as you go, making sure there is only one seedling per tube. Discard empty tubes, remove weeds and slugs. Each box should be clearly labelled with the botanical name and zone. If necessary, refresh your labels with a 4B pencil. Good presentation takes time, but is an effective and satisfying way of finishing off your growing season in the best possible way. Your seedlings represent both yourself and Trees for Life. At the end of the growing season, you give your seedlings to your landholder or project coordinator for planting. Having spent 5 or 6 months raising the seedlings, your job is now finished. Thank you and well done. Growing seedlings is a practical and satisfying way of making a valuable contribution towards revegetation in South Australia. If you have any inquiries about the tree scheme, please phone 8406 0500 or email treesforlife@info@treesforlife.org.au. Trees for you, trees for me, trees for life.